All
All
right,
right, let
and
me
now
turn
we are
on.
starting to record here, and welcome everybody to the very first podcast that I have been raving about for a long time. Johnny G presents Streamers in Depth. I'll kind of give you a little insight of what we're going to be doing here, what I want to accomplish on this. I want to sit down with small time streamers who their communities are actually popping off pretty good, and I've always been one of those people where I feel like if I'm watching them, I kind of want to know who they are as a real person. So I want to get them out of that environment to actually see who they are and where we can actually get to know them a little bit. Because there are some people that, they put on a show, and I just want to get to know the real them. I was very blessed to find my very first guest here, who is DinoxRobot. And
Hi.
it's so nice to have you here, Dino. I'm so glad you're here. And first thing I just really want to know is, we've been streaming together for, I don't know, a couple months now. And how long have you actually been streaming for?
So it's kind of crazy that you asked that question because I just looked the other day. The very first time that I hit that live button for the first time was like 6 months ago, almost to the day. So this is like happy 6 months. We're doing a podcast, and it's been amazing.
Were you like terrified your very first stream? Because I know I had a little bit of nerves, but like, how were you feeling when you first did it?
So it was like this really interesting combination of being like super excited about it and then beyond terrified. Like I am someone who growing up was like really shy, and putting myself out in front of like the world was never something I would have imagined for myself. So it was like this weird social anxiety, but also this excitement of like embracing the unknown and doing something I'd never done before. It was pretty awesome.
Well, that was one thing too. Like, I think how we first met, it was, I don't know if it was one of those follow for follow things on Instagram, but you ended up
Mhm.
coming into one of my Dead by Daylight Plus drinks, and I believe it was
I
you
did.
that kind of reminded me to play a radio station, and your name just looks so familiar to me. I was like, fuck, I think I know that person. I'm not 100% sure. And then the second you said Instagram, I was like, yes, I know exactly who you are. And that to me, I think that's kind of where it all blossomed. And I know, like you said before, too, when you did it, what, 6 months, I think you said it was?
Yeah, yeah, 6 months ago.
What actually did you think? Like, what made you want to start streaming? Was it just something that popped in your head, something you always thought of? Like, what was the first thing where, like, I just want to start streaming?
It's definitely not something I thought I would ever be doing. But it was kind of like, I'm already playing these video games. Maybe I could put myself out there and meet some new friends. And I don't know. It was just, I don't remember the exact moment where I was like, I'm going to start streaming. But I think it was like a slow burn, like something I'd been thinking about. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do it. What's the worst that could happen? So I'm glad I went for it though, because it's been a really good journey so far.
Now, you didn't be one of those people that like went out and just spent thousands of dollars on equipment right away. You actually just had like a little camera, maybe just your headset. You weren't doing like, oh, I'm gonna go spend $1,200, because I've seen some people that have done that, and for a really weird reason, I don't know why. I mean, I used to watch their streams, and they were pretty good, and for one reason or another, they just up and quit. And I don't know if it was the fact of they didn't think they were getting the production that they thought they were going to get. But I mean, to spend all that money on that equipment and then eventually just decide I don't want to do this anymore, or I'm just not getting my views. Like, was that something that you were really terrified of like how many people were actually going to watch? Does that ever run through your mind, I guess, when you're streaming?
Oh my gosh, every time I stream, I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, when you're putting on a show, you want people to like it. So you want people to come to the show and stick around. Like that's definitely something that I'm always thinking about is, is the quality of my content good? Or am I giving my viewers the value that they come here for? But you were saying about, did I go out and spend a bunch of money? I did not. When I first started streaming, probably for like the first like 4 months, I had my shitty little PS4 camera streaming from my console. I didn't have a mic. I didn't have a green screen. I mean, it was super, super basic, but I wanted to make sure that streaming was something that I was going to become passionate about and something that I was actually going to enjoy before I spent the money and improving my streams. So after about 4 months, I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm ready to like invest some money, get a better, a PC for streaming, and get the green screen and the mic. And I mean, I think you can stream without doing all of those things. But it definitely, I think if you're going to be serious about it, it's worth investing. But I wanted to make sure that I was about it before I just jumped the gun and decided, like you said, ended up being like, this isn't for me. And then I just spent all that money for no reason. So
Right. Like I don't, when you said that all you had was your PS4 camera, that's all I had.
yeah.
We just had this idea that we were gonna do a drinking game for Dead by Daylight, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we streamed it? And then for some weird reason, whatever possessed me, I was like, you know what? This is something I actually kind of want to do anyway. So I went out, bought my PS4 camera, and my old like shitty setup that I had was like this little coffee table in front of me. I had a stack of DVDs to make the camera level with my face. And I actually had a couple of people come check it out, and they're just like, how is that not in your, how can you even see your screen? I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I sit just above. So, but this whole time I had this weird camera just in front of my face, and I didn't know what I wanted for a background, because I was like, I just don't want this white wall behind me. So I put up like this old Green Bay Packer blanket that I had behind me. And that actually started off quite a bit of people like talking shit. And it wasn't like about my stream. It was about the Packers sucking.
The Packers.
So, I don't know. It was one of those things where it's like, dude, it was there. It was available for me. I still do not have a green screen. At one point, I do want that. I just think at, where I'm at right now, a green screen will come into play. But I'm such in like a small area that it will just take over my room. Is pretty much how that goes. And what was your, because you're married to Killjoy, who I've met. He's
Killjoy 182.
He's a very nice man. I like that guy. What was his first thought like when you told him you wanted to stream? Was he like 100% behind you? Was he just like, I don't know how that's going to work out? Like, what was his thought on the entire thing?
He supports me 100% in all of my crazy endeavors. In fact, I probably would have never started streaming had he not been like, you should do this, you should go for it. And even now, I mean, after every stream, he comes in and he hypes me up. And there was actually a situation a couple weeks ago where, I mean, right before I was about to stream, something happened and it just put me in this really dark place. And I was like, screw it, I can't stream today. I can't stream like this. So I was like, I'm not going to stream. And he was like, no, girl, you're going to do this and you're going to kill it. He poured me a drink. We put on some music. We danced around like idiots, got me hyped, ended up streaming. And it was an amazing stream. And I don't know. So he's like my cheerleader, my biggest fan. And I appreciate him for that on so many levels.
Well, good. So. I can assume, that old phrase, what is it? Happy wife, happy life. If he didn't support you, he'd probably be like, dude, my life will be miserable right now because I'd make her miserable.
Right. So, he's been super supportive about all of it, which is really great. So
now, has he ever thought about like he wants to get into streaming as well, or is he just like, nah, that's your thing, I'm gonna fucking leave that alone?
He's got to work on his season ranking on Overwatch. He doesn't have. No, I'm just kidding. I think it is something that he's thought about. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to stream at the same time because we only have one setup. But he's actually a photographer, and so I thought that would be really cool if he focused more on like the creative side of Twitch, like doing his Photoshop on stream and doing different things with his photography. Because he knows a lot. He's really good at it, and I think that he could definitely bring something different to Twitch other than what I'm doing. But of course, we game together all the time too, so he could definitely do that. But yeah.
Well, Twitch kind of has like that creative thing now. I don't think they always had it, but they do have that creative where I've seen people, they just like paint or they do something like that. Fucking Bob Ross. Bob Ross has his very own Twitch page. I love the fact, I don't know why, but Bob Ross is like one of the most well-known people on Twitch. And you would think gamers, do you really think they know who Bob Ross is? Or at least like the new gamers, I don't think do. You know, the older ones like me.
Right.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be 28 this year. So obviously we know who Bob Ross is. Like I remember a time I was living with my cousin over like in Maplewood, Minnesota, and we sat down. I'm not shitting you, for about 2 hours and just watched Bob Ross videos.
Yeah. Yes.
And the craziest thing, like I heard about that guy, and I don't know if a lot of people knew it, but he apparently was a drill sergeant in the military.
Yep.
He's the most soft-spoken guy about his whole, like, oh, yeah, we're just going to put a little tree over here. I can't picture him in somebody's face yelling at them. It doesn't add up to me at all.
No, Bob Ross is my hero. Like, I wish he was my grandpa. Like, he's amazing. Same thing. I've spent many hours on YouTube just watching his videos back to back. He's just so... I don't know. There's something about him that I just adore. So yeah.
there was another thing I read about Bob Ross. He didn't always rock that whatever the hell you want to call it, a perm or a fro.
A perm, yeah.
Apparently, he hated that he couldn't cut his hair.
It became his like signature look, and he had to keep it. But yeah, that's a perm right there for you.
Right, but that's what you do like in your real life, right? Like cosmetology, you own your own business. Like what got you kind of into that? Like just something you always wanted to do?
So not really. It kind of just fell into my lap a little bit. But I've been doing that. I do hair. I've been doing that for 10 years now, which is like insane. And I've owned my own business for the past January will be 3 years. And, you know, it was just kind of random how it happens. Like my senior year in high school, you know, everyone's trying to figure out like, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I really didn't have an answer for that. I was like, oh, I guess I'll go to college and figure that out. So my senior year, I got a job as a receptionist at a local salon, pretty much just sweeping hair and answering phones. It was real glamorous, but I ended up falling in love with it and decided, you know what, I think this is something I could do. And so I went to school the following January, and here we are. So I love how that worked out for me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I know so many cosmetologists in my life. Like I can name probably 5 of them off the top of my head. I still cut my own hair, even though I know all of these people, and I don't know why. I just never reach out to. Like there was one I had that haircut for a style, and a lot of my friends rock it. I couldn't rock it that well. Everyone calls it the fuckboy look. I think. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about with the fuckboy look?
Is it the undercut?
It's the whole shaved on the side of the head, but you have the very long. You can put it up. I tried to rock that. My hair is just not made for that at all. It just looked long, greasy. Did not look good. I kind of looked like a douchebag. But there was a couple of times where I'm like, dude, I could fucking rock this. No, John, you can't rock that at all.
That's funny.
So that's like funny. You never really thought of like going for anything else other than cosmetology. That just kind of like hit you were there and you just fell in love with what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much went for it full force. I mean, it definitely like my mom was very supportive. She, you know, of me doing whatever I wanted to do. My dad took a little bit of convincing. I think he was disappointed in the beginning that I wasn't going to college and getting a college degree. I was going to hair school. But he sees, I mean, now I've been doing it for so long. I have my own business. It's been going really well. I've had some really amazing opportunities happen because of the career that I chose. So, you know, he's all for it now. But yeah, I mean, even now, I think like if I wasn't doing hair, like I don't know what I would be doing. So I don't think I'll work behind the chair forever. Maybe another like 10 years, I'll be doing specifically what I do. But I think I'd always want to be involved in the industry somehow because I love it so much. It's amazing.
Well, you said like, you know, your mom, very supportive person. do you feel like your dad is like just not as supportive of what you want to do? And like, do they know that you stream? Do they know anything about it?
So I mean, my dad is very supportive. He's just very old school, right? And I think even just in the area that he lives in, there's not like there are. I mean, and this might be me being ignorant myself, but there isn't really in his area people doing the kind of work that I do. I think that he thought like I'd be working at like Supercuts or like Fantastic Sam's, and that's not what I do. But so I don't know if my dad knows that I stream. He follows me on Instagram, so I'm sure he's seen me post about it. I don't know if he's popped in a stream or not. I was actually and I was telling her about Twitch and streaming, and like I said, she's just kind of like, okay, that sounds nice, sweetie. Good job. I don't know if they get it, but
such a typical like parent thing too, because
she's like, okay.
Well, it's most of my family, and a lot of my friends like back home here too. Like my friends when I was living in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, like they all got it. They all game. They know what the fuck it is. When I kind of like told my parents what I was doing, they're just kind of like, oh, all right. And it was one of those things where it's like, I kind of wanted to get a reaction. I wanted more than an, oh, okay. Because I know me and my dad, we've butted heads before, and like I never really had the strongest relationship with him until like that one like couple of months when I was in the hospital. He was there every fucking day, and it just like it threw me so off guard. I was like, what the fuck? And my mom was there too, and but I thought it was really weird because like our relationship got a little bit stronger after that, where he was in town. He took me out to eat, and I told him like, oh, I got to stream at 6, but I'm done at 4:30, so I do have like an hour and a half or so where we can hang out. And he was actually asking me questions about it, like he was really intrigued, and once again blew my fucking mind of like, holy shit, you are really kind of interested in this. And it's really nice when you can actually have like your parents kind of show a little bit of interest, show their support. What about your friends? Like, do they really get it at all, or?
Not really. I don't really have like my girlfriends. None of them are gamers. So it's kind of funny. I have like a couple different levels. Like some of my friends, even though they don't game, they're like, I can tell you get really excited when you talk about streaming.
Well, it's a passion.
You love it. It's a passion. Yeah. They're like, oh, you get that twinkle in your eye when you talk about it. So I can tell you really love it. And I'm happy for you. And then I have, a couple other friends that like make weird comments sometimes about it. Like almost like, it's taking up all your time. And I'm like, it really doesn't. I stream 3 days a week. In the evenings when I wouldn't be seeing or hanging out with you anyways. So I don't know. It's almost, I don't want to say like a jealousy thing, but it kind of feels that way a little. Not, I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting my own whatever. But for the most part, people are pretty supportive. And I have had real life friends and family stop by the stream. And I love that. I love IRL people in my life coming by and hanging out on Twitch. It's a lot of fun. So.
Well, it's nice having like someone see that you're passionate about it and actually get excited for you, which is always a good thing. I just know that I'm kind of like in a little country area where like no one fucking knows what streaming is, and to this day, like there's still people in my family, they think all I do is like try to be a pro gamer, and it's like that. I'm fucking far from that. That's not what I'm doing at all. And my sister, she's starting to turn around a little bit to the fact of, hey, like, you are getting some money from Twitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are people paying you to watch you play a game? And like, I've always felt they're not paying me to watch me play a game. They're supporting. They're supporting what I want to do, and that was another thing that I was going to bring up too, because I'm assuming you've had some. I think every streamer's had some where my biggest reply always is you're going to have those trolls that kind of come in there and they just want to mess with you. That's what they want to do. That's what gets their rocks off. And the only thing I can think of, when they do come in there that I can say to them is like, look, man, like, I don't know where in society you think it's okay to come and shit on somebody else's dream. Like, I'm just here having a good time, man. Like, if you want to come in here and talk shit to me, that's fine. I'm sure you have the whole setup that I do, that you actually have to allow a negative comment to come into your chat. I'm not sure if you have that, but I do. And I'll allow it. I'll just be like, you know what, man, you want to be on the stream for, 10, 15 seconds. I don't care. Do all that. But like, have you ever had anyone come in? Like, what's the worst comment that you think you've gotten from somebody?
Do you really want to get into this?
I do. I want to know exactly, because I want a female's perspective. That's what I want.
And okay, as a female, well, I think anytime you put yourself out there on the internet or for the masses, it's to be expected that you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, you're gonna get hated sometimes.
People are gonna hate. They're gonna come and troll. I'm sure it happens for males as well, but definitely as a female, the sexual aggression is it's kind of like what's to be expected, right?
That's the angle I was going, because I kind of figured you probably got some of those comments.
So you asked honestly, it's like almost every time I stream, I will get a whisper of something inappropriate. Why people think that's okay, I don't know. I never reply. I don't let it get to me. It's just kind of like, whatever. The worst one I got actually happened yesterday, so it's fresh in my head.
Oh, during your bomb ass stream. Like, yeah, like I just got done and I saw you had like 30 people in there and I was like, holy shit, Dino.
Yes, yeah. Yesterday's stream was absolutely bananas, because I had like my lowest low with this person's disgusting comment, and then ended on the highest high. So it kind of balanced out, I guess. So I'm gonna rant and get into what happened.
Fucking rant it up. Let's hear.
I'm gonna just tell you. Okay, so there was this guy he's randomly popped into my streams a couple times. It hasn't really said anything too engaging, but I recognize his name. So I took Sunday off because I needed to recover from the weekend. Monday I go to stream. I pull up my Twitch for the first time over the weekend and see that this guy had left a very gross, the worst comment I've received on one of my clipped videos.
Was it a dancing one?
I don't even know. I just saw the comment, and it was very explicit and graphic. Yeah. And instantly, like, I replied something back like, that's gross or that's cute or something sarcastic, and instantly both of my mods messaged me and was like, we're going to ban this guy. Don't worry about it. I was like, cool, you guys got it. Whatever. So banned him. No big deal. Yesterday's stream, I'm streaming, and the guy had made a new account. It was pretty much his same name except different numbers at the end.
Because that's very sneaky.
I'm like, who has the time to do this? Like, really, So he comes in, my mod insta-ban. It's like, cool. He comes back a few minutes later with a new account. And it's like, hey, I don't know what happened. I got banned. Can you please, unban my original thing? And I was like, dude, you left a really gross comment. I don't tolerate that. This isn't the place for that kind of behavior. And he kept going on and gradually got more and more aggressive, like, unban me, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, you've been warned. We're about to kick you out again. And he's like, say what I said out loud or whatever. And so I was like, dude, ban him. So got him banned. He's done off my Twitch. We continue with the stream. I go to switch to my PlayStation, and apparently we're friends on PlayStation, or you can message people you're not friends. I'm not really sure how that works, but as soon as I open my PlayStation account, he had messaged me on PlayStation and was basically like, fuck you, you stupid bitch, like go to hell. Blah, blah, blah.
Jesus Christ.
And you can go back, it popped up and my whole stream could see it. Thankfully it was kind of during a lull in the stream and there wasn't a ton of people in there. But I'm just like, this is what I have to deal. Like, this person came in, said something that made me feel super uncomfortable. I said I wasn't going to take it, and then I get, like, trash like this. So, obviously, I reported, like, but I'm just like, it's not okay to treat people like that, to talk to people like that. If you are looking for a cam girl, I'm sure, like, 1,000 sites for that purpose. Twitch is not the platform for that. So
right, and I apologize, guys, if her mic is cutting in and out. It's all right, it's okay. We noticed a little bit earlier today that her mic was kind of giving her issues, so she's using some other microphone at the moment. So just bear with us on that. I'm just letting them know, you know.
Okay, yeah, sorry guys.
I think it's crazy because, you know, ever since I started watching you, me and you have had this discussion before, and I know that everyone has their own opinion. I have my opinion, other people have theirs, but there's two different type of female streamers to me, and that is an actual streamer, and then you have what we call the booby streamers. I've never seen you as a booby streamer. I've never seen you do anything like too revealing on there. I've seen a couple of them, and there's a guy that he does a very good job. He actually called this one out. I don't remember her name, but I do remember his name. So if you guys want to check him out, his name is Destiny. I highly recommend it. Check it out. He actually calls this girl out, and I think she was banned a couple of times. And it's straight up, and he's like, he was streaming. He's like, I'll show you exactly what a booby streamer is. All you do is click on it. It was just her like sitting back, low cut shirt, leg up in the air. And it's like there's two different types of female streamers. Like, do you think there's two different type of male streamers? Like, what's your input on that? Is there two different types for you?
That's a really interesting question. I don't watch a lot of male streamers. I watch you. And
that makes me feel good.
Yeah, like you're probably like my main male streamer that I like to watch. You know, of course, I'll pop into like our friends like Moise and Doodle, and sometimes I'll watch XQC.
Oh, XQC.
I think he's cute. I don't know, but he's like way too hyper. He's like way too much energy for me. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of guy streamers, so I don't know if I have like an answer for that. I mean, I think having a little bit of sex appeal can be a good thing, right? Like I do my Just Dance. I try to look cute, you know, for sure. Like you want to.
I just use the beard.
Difference.
I use the beard.
I mean, it's working. Keep it. It's a good thing. But you know, but there are absolutely like, I mean, I could just be wearing this right here, and you know, whatever. But I try to not encourage that kind of attention because I don't like it. So, but
see,
there is, yeah, I know what you mean.
And that's why I kept kind of coming back to your stream because I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a guy. I like to look at that stuff. But you know, when I'm watching streamers, I'm watching Twitch because when I first started, you know, I wanted to learn. I had this whole ability that I want to know what people are doing. I want to learn about it. And you know, I kind of got to that point. And then there's ones, and we've talked about it before in the past too, of like the fake followers on Instagram. They're just doing it to get you in there, and you know. And there was one, and I won't say a name. It's fresh in my mind too. I just don't want to say. I don't want to call her out or anything like that.
Oh.
But
on Instagram or on Twitch?
It was on. She messaged me on Instagram because she followed me, and I'm that type of person where I don't have an auto reply to just like, oh yeah, well thanks, you know, come to the stream, and like it's so quick, and it's like, dude, there's no way you type that and put a link in there that fast. It's so fucking fast. So it's actually me typing. Like it might take, you know, 5, 6, sometimes 2 hours before I reply because I haven't looked on my phone.
Right.
But oh, excuse me.
You're good.
But yeah, I went to her stream, and I'm not shitting you. It was her and her friend just drinking wine in these shorty shorts, and like the camera wasn't even on their face. It was just on their body the entire time. And then this is one thing. This is why this topic has come up plenty of times of who do you think grows faster, males or females? To me, a streamer is a streamer, okay? A booby streamer is somebody else. All people were doing is complimenting their bodies, like their legs. I'm not shitting. I think this girl has been streaming for maybe 2 months. Already almost has 1,000 followers. And I mean, kudos to you, girl. Like if that's what you want to do, all I'm saying is looks are gonna fade eventually. You know, once you get up there, they're gonna get sick looking at you. You got to have a personality to stream. I truly believe that. You need to be able to talk to people. And that was one thing I always admired you on. I liked it. You're very good at seeing who's talking in chat and always replying to them. Even if they say something like stupid, that I don't think it makes you uncomfortable. I think it's more of the fact of, you know, oh, thanks for, you know, saying I'm good looking. And then you just kind of like brush it off and go somewhere else with the conversation. You don't have that silence. You don't just sit there and just let guys oogle ya and sit and eat potato chips like I've seen some people too. I'm talking a lot of trash right now.
Hey, no, it's I so.
Yeah, and I don't know. That was just one thing, you know, I've always liked on your stream. But has there been, because this is one thing I thought of too, is there one thing on your stream that you will not talk about? Like that topic is fucking not happening. You'll shut it down. Do you have anything like that in your stream?
I mean, even like in my real life job, there are topics that you just don't talk about just because, you know, it's such a polarizing topic. Usually that's religion and politics. Just because we all have different views, and I'm not looking to like necessarily get into that with anybody on my stream. Like, so those are definitely topics I would avoid. Yeah, trying to think of anything else. I like to also maintain a level of like personal privacy. I've had people ask me, you know, what's my first name? Where do I live? You know, and I like to just kind of deflect that a little bit, just to maintain a little bit of privacy. I mean, if people eventually figure it out, and I know I dropped it on stream, my name and, you know, where I live and stuff like that before. But I think at this point, you know, being a smaller streamer, hopefully eventually growing and people will figure it out. But at this point, trying to maintain as much privacy as I can. So I guess anything too much about my personal life, I try to like not. Well, just I mean, like on stream at least. Well, this is obviously different, you know, like, but on my stream, I like to just kind of maintain a little bit of a. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or if that's, I don't know.
I think it's more, I think it's more of like protecting yourself type thing. I've never had an issue, you know, if people ask where I was. Like I started off in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I was never afraid to be like, yeah, I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. You know, fuck, come find me, I guess. But I think that's a little bit different between a guy streamer and a girl streamer, because there's a lot of fucking creeps out there. But then again, on the guy side, there's a lot of stalkers out there that will stalk the shit out of you and, you know, find out where you live. I don't know. I've never been afraid of that. I've never been afraid of letting people know, like, my real name, because, you know, if you look up John Gonzalez, like, go ahead and do it now, you're going to find a lot of them. You're going to find a lot of John Gonzalez's. It's hard to find me, like, on Facebook when people be like, oh, what's your name? Dude, if you put my name in there, you're going to have, like, at least 700 some pages of John Gonzalez's. So it's going to be hard unless you search by area. But yeah, I never really looked at it as a problem for myself. But I suppose though, as a girl streamer, it's got to be a little bit more difficult. Like you don't, you say the state though, right? Like you just won't say your city.
I have yet to say my city. Like, oh yeah,
don't do that. Don't do that.
No, sometimes I have said my state before. You know, normally I'd be like, oh, I'm East Coast or whatever. I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's just I'm kind of a private person anyways, so I think just kind of maintaining a little bit of privacy for as long as I can is kind of what I'm going for. if it all eventually comes out, it's no big deal. But just holding on to that. I like a little mystery, you know?
Well, I mean, I've had the privilege of, I know your state. I don't know if I've ever known your city, but I definitely know your state. And that's
You know
because
the
of a
area because
yeah.
of like Scientology and stuff like that.
Right. Is that something that we're gonna get? Are we gonna get into that whole Scientology debate again?
We can go there. We can go there. I don't know much about it, but
I'm still wondering
Kinda.
when you and Doodle are gonna go to that headquarters and just put on those spy glasses. I don't care what you have to do. Put those spy glasses on. Get in there for me, or at least just do like a live stream, and then let me. I just need to talk to somebody in there. Like I don't know why they're so secretive. It bothers me why they're so secretive. I mean,
No, I think you need to come down here yourself, and we'll all go.
well, I mean, I'll come down there if I get enough money scrapped together here to get a plane ticket. I can go down. I can go down, and you can watch me walk right up to that front door. I'm gonna go knocking.
I'll be like, honey.
Yeah, and then obviously you're gonna have to put a missing person out on me because everyone thinks I'm gonna get kidnapped. I have a dad bod, so I don't think I can get kidnapped that easy. But it could happen. It could definitely happen. But yeah, I'd definitely be down to come over there. It's so hard for me not to say your state because I don't know if you want it.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'll come down to Florida, and we'll do that as long as you're still willing to come up for the birthday. If you guys have those fucking tickets, like I told you, we can get a spot. We can get a spot, and we can go out and I can kind of show you how Wisconsin people drink.
All right.
I think you guys are going to be really surprised about our alcohol prices, and
like happy surprised in a good way.
You'll be surprised like how cheap it is. It's cheap as hell.
Good.
Like how much is it for a shot over in Florida? Like just we'll say a shot of
tequila.
Yeah, a shot of tequila.
I guess it depends on where you are. I would say probably around like average would be like $8.
Fuck
maybe?
that. Fuck
$5? I don't know.
That's ridiculous. Like we've had a couple of friends, come up to Wisconsin here, and they're blown away by the prices that we have. I mean, you go to a bar, you can get a beer for $2.50.
Nice.
Or they'll have a lot of deals where like, here, drink this shitty beer for $1 just to get it out of our area. But yeah, so I think you'll be very surprised at how much money you're actually going to save going out to the bars if you come here.
All right, sweet.
So yeah, we'll do that. So another thing I want to know, and I'm curious about it. I want to know who you were in high school.
Oh God.
Are you anything like you are now when you were in high school?
I've always been weird, and I've learned to embrace that. But I don't think I'm a lot like the girl I was in high school, and that's okay. It's a good thing.
Were you a party girl? I picture party girl in my head, and I don't know why.
Not in high school necessarily. After like 21 to like 25 was a good time, but not so much in high school. High school was rough, man. High school was rough.
Were you picked on?
Not picked on, just very lonely. That's the only way I could describe it. Yeah, I don't know how to. I had some shit that I was dealing with.
Were you just like didn't want to talk to people? Like you had no friends, lonely?
Yeah, like I was very, very shy. Very shy, and like I had like some stuff at home that I was dealing with, like and then like I would get really like attached to like these boyfriends that I had, and then would like it obviously wouldn't work out, and then I'd get super depressed, and I would cope by doing like getting high every day, and it just wasn't it just wasn't a good time for me, but we made it. So, if I could go back and tell 16, 17, 15-year-old Dino, I would be like, girl, it gets better. It gets so much better. Just like keep on keeping on. Like I promise you.
So you were the gamer nerdy girl who just smoked pot by herself.
Yeah. pretty much.
Did you? I just
The
found
emo.
this
I
out.
was super emo.
Oh,
Like,
you're the
like,
emo
so
girl. You're the.
seen. I was like, oh, my life is so like angsty and just. Ugh.
I hate the world and everybody in it. Just let me sit in my
No one
corner and cry.
understands me. Yeah.
Yeah, we
That was
had
me.
plenty of those. We had plenty of those. I just found out recently from it was from my sister. We were talking about my brother-in-law. He has two siblings that just graduated, and I was the party guy. When I was in high school, I was the party. I was at every party
I
you
can
could
see
fucking
that.
find. Yeah, oh yeah. And I was always like the loudest guy in the room. But it was weird because I think my sister was a senior, I was a freshman. So it kind of worked out for me because I knew all the seniors, went out drinking with them. And it was very weird to hear he was asking his younger siblings. Like he went to he went to their graduation parties, and like there was no beer drinking. No one was doing anything. And apparently they just get high on getting good grades in school. I don't know what happened to my high school. Is it bad of me to say I'm like upset that they're not the party school anymore? Because we used to go out drinking all the time. Is that bad? I'm not saying go out and do drugs, kids, or drink, or I'm not saying
Not
do
condoning
that.
underage drinking.
But I'm just do something exciting in your like. Who wants to sit at home and study? I never did that.
I mean, so I am the oldest of. I have 6 siblings, right?
Damn.
So I think of who I was and what I was doing in high school. Would I want my siblings doing that? Like I mean, I'm all about them like going out, having fun, live your life, try things, that's how you grow from experience. But do I necessarily want them out like drinking and doing some of the really dumb things that I did? No, not necessarily.
But at the same time, like, do you have a leg to stand on? You can't be like, I don't want you to do that. But in the back of your mind, like, I fucking did it all the time. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I can't say no because I was that person.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know. It's hard for me.
That's an interesting, I don't know. I mean, again, like, I'm, like, all about, go live your life, try things, whatever. But there are things that I'm like, if you do that, I hear, like, my mom, don't you do that. Don't go making mistakes that I've made.
So that was weird. My mom was always very chill about she was a very firm believer on go out. If you get in trouble, you better learn from your mistakes. She was very hard on that. And
Mama G.
That's just who she was. But at the same time, like I feel like if you allow your kids to go out and make their own mistakes, like, yeah, they might fuck up, 3, 4, 5 times. But I think it could actually make you a better person in the long run. Because there's a couple of kids that I know that, they were sheltered their entire life. And, like, when they got to college, man, they went all out.
Right.
They got in so much trouble. And it's like, I think
Right.
I got most of that out of my system.
Right.
So,
No, I have to agree.
and yeah, and I just feel like there's a point in your life, and I hit this a couple years ago where I used to love drinking like every day. Now it boils down to a Friday, maybe a Saturday, but it takes me like 2 days to recover from 1 day of drinking now.
Oh, same.
I don't know if
struggle.
that's us getting old or if that's just growing up, I guess, however you want to put it.
Probably a combination of both. I mean, same thing, like, when I was early 20s, I was living with roommates, and I mean, it was like insane partying. I remember like going out on a Friday night, going dancing. We wouldn't get to like the club until like almost midnight. Shut it down, drinking, all the things. Get home, sleep for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, go to work the next day. Like,
I want to be
I could
home by
not do
midnight.
that.
I want to be home by midnight now. It's just
Yeah. I'm like, no, I think about those times and they were fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, I can't hang like that. Like you said, it takes me days to recover from things. And
well, yeah,
I don't
you
know.
took your Sunday stream off.
Yeah, I went to a Halloween party on Saturday and woo! Open
Goddamn,
bar, that's all I'll say.
Halloween parties will get you all the time.
Yeah, so I had to cancel stream because I just couldn't, just all day, just couldn't shake the awfulness.
Now you stream. Well, it was Saturday, Sunday. No,
Sunday, Monday,
Sunday, Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Sunday, Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Is that just? I'm assuming you got work and everything like that, and I'm assuming it kind of helps with your marriage and everything. You guys have more time together. Is that in factor? Is it just that you just strictly want to keep it to those 3 days?
So I think consistency in your schedule is super important.
Right.
You know, so I messed around with a lot of different schedule days. I think I started out, I was doing like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and none of those were working out for me. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday has been the best so far. Those are the 3 days that I don't work in my real job. So I'm not tired from real working. It's not affecting my work, real life. So it just kind of works out perfect that I work in the salon Wednesday through Saturday, and then I stream Sunday through Tuesday. It's perfect.
Yeah, that was one of the things I learned really quick when I was
Yeah.
looking up about being a streamer, and it's that mentality of it's like if you have a favorite TV show, what time is it on? Like how long is it? So it's kind of like a muscle memory for people. Obviously, I do the Monday through Friday gig and have my 2 days to myself, and I don't know. There's times that I've felt, is it too much? Is it too much of doing that? Because I know you don't want to burn yourself out. There's been times that I've felt that, but like we talked about it earlier, it's such a passion. You just get like that rush where it's just like, dude, I will make it through. I will do this.
Right.
And I forced myself one Saturday to do a 12-hour stream. I will never in my life do a 12-hour stream ever again.
No 24-hour stream, Johnny?
Oh, no. Did I say 12? Or no, 24?
No, but you know how people do that?
Oh,
They do, like,
yeah, dude.
"Marathon!"
There's no way in hell I would not be able to pull a 24-hour stream off. Like, I was almost falling asleep during my 12-hour stream, and it wasn't like it was just like I wasn't having anyone talking to me. It was the point where like I couldn't sit down anymore. I just didn't want to play a game anymore. I think I switched between like 5 or 6 games.
Right. You would have to.
So kudos to people that can pull that off, but you're never gonna see me try to pull that off ever again.
Yeah, I think my max, like the most that I've done is about 6 hours, which is a good chunk of time. Actually, a girl I follow had like a subathon thing a few weeks ago, and she ended up doing a 28-hour stream. And so like I checked in, she had just started her stream. It was around 7 p.m. She's all fresh and like, yeah, all about it. I checked in the next morning. She's still going. And she's, still, hopped up on like caffeine. And then towards the end, so the following day, so it would have been like 25 hours. And she looked so rough. She was all like a zombie. She's like, what? I'm like, girl, just call it. Just call it.
Well,
but so kudos to those streamers who can do that, because I don't know if I'm there yet.
Definitely kudos to them. And there's something to me about watching someone eat while they're streaming.
Oh no.
I don't
totally done that.
I don't okay. Well, I mean, if you're just like kind of having a little snack or whatever, it's one thing, but there was one I watched, 12-hour stream, and it was straight just tacos. And it was like, man, like I can see like having some chips and some salsa or something. You're going to fucking shove tacos in your mouth. But you have to get by. If you're going to do it, you have to eat.
Right. Yeah, very true.
So, I mean, like, yeah, kudos to those people that can do that. I personally, I don't know if I can ever do another one. It was not my forte. I just felt fatigued and everything. But speaking of that as well, like, who would you say is the top streamer that you watch? And I would probably say, like, also who's influenced you the most?
Interesting. Oh gosh. So who's the top streamer that I watch? Like, who do I watch most?
Like who's like your top notch? Like
Who's
you
my
love watching
favorite?
them. Yeah.
So do you know who Nico is? Nico.
Nico.
So I like Nico. I think she's very entertaining to watch. So I can chill in her streams for a long time. Biggest influencer. So yeah, I like Nico. There's also a streamer. She's actually a stream coach, and I like watching her content a lot because her thing is all about like helping streamers grow and become better streamers. And I think I love learning, especially because this is a whole new platform for me, and I'm always trying to like improve and get better. Her name is Ashley Christ. So if you're a streamer or thinking about streaming or any sort of content creation, I would definitely check her out because she's got some really good insight and information, and she's really cool. She does like channel reviews. She'll come by your channel and kind of go through everything and let you know what she thinks, like what you're doing right, what you can improve on. So she's super awesome.
Yeah. Like streamer coach. They have that thing on Twitch now. They actually have like streamer coach or whatever like that. That was one thing too. I've had people multiple times message me about how I swear too much or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think you? Yeah. I've had someone come up to me and just not come up to me like in real life, but they've messaged me about if you tone down the swearing where you can be a little bit more of a PG type stream, I feel like you can boot off really well. I've also had, they said something about my drinking stream, when we do it on Fridays, it's not a good thing to do. And they also talk about, and I smoke on stream, like not marijuana, but like I'll smoke my cigarettes or whatever like that. I'll smoke on stream. To me, I don't know if I was taking that as like a rude thing to say. And I don't know if it was just like them trying to reach out to me and just say, hey, like you could be something bigger if you kept it PG. I mean, is that one thing that you're always about? Like you just want to be the realest you, right? Like you don't want to put on some fake ass show for people. I think that's dumb if you're going to put on a fake ass show. Like I want people to know the real me and who I am. Is there anything that you think you hold back from when you're streaming?
Not really, because I cut. And I definitely stream. I mean, you could look at that as two ways. I mean, at the end of the day, your stream, it's your content. If you want to cuss and smoke and drink, you're in control of that. That's your choice.
I'm smoking right now. What are they going to do to me?
They're coming for you.
They're coming for me.
I think like maybe it was coming from a place of, because if someone, for example, comes into your stream and you're cussing and they're not really someone that cusses, it might turn them off. Drinking streams, if you're drinking, slamming down beers, and someone comes in and they don't drink, it might turn them off. But so when I actually first started streaming, I was like, how am I going to make this entertaining? And my whole thing was, well, I'm going to do pretty much exclusively drinking streams. It was called Drinking with Dino, is what the streams were called.
I've been there plenty of times.
Every stream had a drinking game. It was something that I thought like, I viewers, but two, it was really kind of what I was using the alcohol was helping me, I think, come out of my shell.
The liquid courage.
The liquid courage. I was definitely relying on that for sure in the beginning. So I've definitely shifted away from that. I mean, I do still drink on streams. There are a couple games that I do still play drinking games on or with or whatever, but making it a little less totally focused on that. That way, if you're not a drinker, you don't feel like, And also, as I grow, I don't want to be known the drunk girl on Twitch.
Oh, they already have one of them. They already have one of them. I know who she is too. They already have one. No, but close. Tipsy is in the name.
And you know, definitely in the beginning too, had some sloppy streams where I overdid it, and you know, you don't ever want to get to that point either, because that's anymore. That's not the kind of content that I want to put out. I mean, I'm down to have a good time, you know, drink with my viewers if that's what they want to do, but I don't want to overdo it.
Well, and I've seen that issue though too. Like you know, going back to the Tipsy Streamer. It's not the one that you said. It's somebody else.
Okay.
But she had like on her Instagram about, you know, she's starting to feel like, because all of her streams are the same. You know, it's drinking, getting drunk.
Right.
Obviously, tipsy's in the name. You know, you're getting a little
Right.
tipsy.
Right.
But she had like this whole call out thing of like, guys, like I'm getting worried about my health. I don't know if I can keep doing this. And just some of the comments that I saw, and they're like, I even messaged on there of like, hey, if you feel like you have to do like a sober stream for your health, you need to do that.
Yeah.
And there's other people like, no, that's why we come to your streams, and like they're influence her to like keep drinking, it's like, no, dude, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
If someone's concerned about their health, like
Right.
you need to fucking let them do what they have to do. And I think I went into one and I told her I was really proud of her because she said she was gonna do like a sober month stream. Now I didn't tune in all the time throughout the month, but when I went in there, I didn't see her drinking. She didn't act like she normally did, but then I noticed, you know, she kind of went back to it. So I feel like, you know, that's what she wants her shtick to be, is, you know, to be the drunk girl, to be the tipsy girl. And I don't know. I don't think you need to do all that. I think she seems like a nice enough person where, you know, she can look past that. But, you know, sometimes you get viewers that are going to influence you to do shit that you really don't want to do. Like, we all know one guy that wants us to say his name constantly, and it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm going to say, I told him, give me $100. If you give me $100, I'll say your name.
Right.
Well, shit, I can't afford that. Well, I can't afford me to say that on my stream either then. You know, it's a two-way street.
Exactly. Well, and I think that was it too, like I said in the beginning, you know, overdoing it, drinking on the stream, and then you know, same thing, like we were saying earlier, I wasn't recovering. Like, it wasn't sustainable for me to drink Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday and be able to put on a good show every day, you know, because I'm still recovering from the night before. So I think that too, as like personally, I was like, I can't keep up with this, you know, because then, you know, after Sunday, Monday, Tuesday streaming, I have to work my real job and not be done by Wednesday, you know. So I've definitely shifted that a little bit, where drinking isn't the sole focus. And I think it's going a lot better.
That's super unhealthy too. I mean,
yeah, you can't.
There's been a lot of people like they love the Friday streams, they love the drinking streams, they love, you know, seeing me slam beers the way Wisconsin people do. And there's like, if you went full time, like if you had a show like that every day, I can't imagine doing a Monday through Friday drinking like that every day. It's it can't happen.
No, and I think it's good. Like, have Fridays, and it's, you know, one day a week. It's a special day. It's the weekend. You know, it's not like an everyday thing. I think that would just be way too much.
My liver would hate me.
Yeah, gives people something to look forward to. I look forward to Fridays. You know, being able to do that. So.
I was super pumped. I was super pumped when you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a part of that crew, and I was like, right on.
That was so exciting. I was so nervous and so excited, and yeah, it was cool. Thank you.
Have you ever tried to do like a duo stream with somebody? Have you realized like how hard that is?
Wait, what?
Have you ever tried to do a duo stream with somebody?
No, what do you mean? Like streaming at the same time?
Right, you stream at the same time.
Ooh, no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I would imagine that, because you're talking to your chat, I'm talking to my chat.
Right.
It would be like a crazy.
Yeah, I tried that with a girl that started streaming around the same time I did. We tried to do a duo stream. It just didn't work. It was very difficult to do. I mean, what's probably the most difficult thing you would say while streaming? What's very difficult? Like, because a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to like pay attention to so many things. I mean, you're constantly checking levels, making sure everything's good. You know, if you got different scenes, you know, you got to run around that. Like, what's the most difficult thing for you when you stream?
I mean, it's definitely being level 9,000, right? Because you're, okay, engaging with my chat. Is the sound okay? Like you said, I got to play my game, like there's all these different things, what's my next question going to be? Keep the conversation going. So I think that would be, for me, is the chatting and not getting super distracted. We were talking about this earlier, how chat can be, I'll be talking about something and then someone will come in and say something and I'll answer their question and then I'll be like, wait, what was I just talking about? And I need to figure out how to balance that, especially, because right now my chat is, it's manageable. I mean, sometimes it's crazy, but I mean, as we grow and there's going to be, hopefully 50 chatters or whatever stations to be able to like process all that and play your game or whatever else you're doing. So thankfully it's like a slow build, right? So you can like grow with it instead of just being like, 30 chatters.
Well, I mean, I've seen that on really big streams that I've watched.
Mm-hmm.
Like the biggest stream I watched, Tim the Tap Man, fucking seems like just such a great guy, and he was someone that actually influenced me a lot when I was thinking about getting into streaming. He actually had a video out there, about staying patient. Stay patient with you're gonna. Not everyone's gonna blow up, and like there's times you're not gonna blow up after 2 months. You're not gonna blow up after 6 months. It might take you a little bit of time, but if you get common people coming in, and it's one of those times where you might get lucky, where some guy's like, hey, he might be a big time streamer, and all of a sudden he's like, I've seen this guy on quite a bit. I've seen him post. We're gonna fucking throw him a bone. I was part of a raid that Tim did on a guy, shut his computer down. I mean, Tim literally has like 20,000 viewers at a time. Fucking shut the guy's computer down. Yeah,
I would literally die.
It was insane. It was insane. Like the guy he was playing Fortnite, which by the way, you'll never ever see me play. I'm not a fan.
Same.
I watched it, and like all of a sudden you saw everyone subbing, subscribing, following, and they were donating, and all of a sudden his face was just like, whoa, what the fuck's happening? And all of a sudden, like, you saw his camera freeze, and you see chat still going, and they're like, I think we broke his computer. And I was like, holy shit, guys. You just fucking broke it. You broke everything.
Wow, that's amazing.
But yeah.
That happened yesterday is I got a raid, and that was my first big raid that I had gotten from a girl that I actually met on Instagram. The Cheshire Cat is her name, and she is an awesome streamer. She recently a partner, super happy for her, and I'll pop into her chat and watch her streams, and I mostly lurk, but I was streaming Dead by Daylight, which she streams a lot recently, and all of a sudden she said, and that was like, so we were talking earlier about the comments that we get. So that was my lowest low that I've experienced in streaming. And then she came in with her raid and sent her friends, and so that was my highest high. So it with that, I would definitely say the good parts of streaming, they trump the bad parts.
Right. That's what sticks in your mind when something good happens.
Yeah, when the good things happen, it makes all the shitty, the troll, whatever. Bye, Felicia.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my top thing that happened, and it was I didn't even really have that many people in there. I think I had there was a time I had like 14 or 15 people I was playing Overwatch, and I don't really pay attention to Overwatch League. I'll watch it. I don't really know the players, but I love the game, so I'll definitely watch it. I had this guy come in, and he was just like, holy shit, dude. Like, I thought I was watching Jonak for a long time, or for the time being. And I was like, who the fuck is Jonak? He said, what? You play Zenyatta and don't know who Jonak is? I was like, no, apparently he's a good Overwatch player, though. So I looked at him. He's like one of the top Zenyatta players. I don't even play close. I don't think I play close like him. But I have like the same, style, I guess you would say. And this is for all the people who are gamer nerds like me and Dino here, but I'll do like my charge shot before I'm coming around a corner. I just think that's the way you should play them, and I never knew who Jonak was, and ever since he told me and I watched it, like that was probably the highest compliment I've ever had in my life, because I would love to fucking sit and play against him at some time. Obviously he's mouse and keyboard, but I have it on PC too, but I'm nowhere near as good as Zenyatta on PC that I am console. I was born with a controller in my hand, not a mouse and keyboard. So, I mean, it's awesome. A little different. It's a little different, but yeah, it's nice when you get those highs where, people say something very good, and you look past all the trolls that have come in there and just talk shit. I did turn one troll around once when he came in and was just talking straight shit. And I actually allowed him to say it. He just told me he's like, dude, you suck dick. I was like, whatever, man. So I hit allow. There you go.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, and I just let him say what he had to say. And, luckily I had some really good, viewers in there and followers. And I didn't even have to say a word. The second I hit allow, boom. Oh. Like the chat blew up and they're like, you don't say that to Johnny, and yada yada, all this stuff. And then I hit him with my my main thing that I go to is you're coming in here talking shit to me and I'm doing something you're probably really scared to do.
Right.
That's what it is, man. When you're on the internet, you allow people to troll, judge, and say what the fuck they want to say about you. You have to have a little bit of thick skin of like, I know someone's gonna hate me, not everyone's gonna like me.
Yep. And
after I did the spiel, like, he was just like, you know what, man? Like, I want to troll you even more, but you handled it like a champ. I actually respect you a lot. Follow, sub, fucking got it all.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah. I love that.
So, I mean, I really want people to understand. That's the reason, for doing the podcast is I want people to understand that, the streamer that you're watching, what they go through, what they're putting themselves through. It's an emotional roller coaster from time to time. And being able to level that out in your real life, and you trying to do something that you actually love to do, it's hard for people to really understand that. So I feel like if you come at them in a positive way of like, hey man, like I'm just trying to live up my dream, like who are you to shit on what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, that's Scooby, man.
That's fucking Scooby.
That's Scooby. Have you checked? Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's going. I've been watching it. I've been watching.
Okay. I figured you had it together, but.
Oh yeah, see, I know what I'm doing.
You're a little reminder.
I'm a semi-pro. I'm a semi-pro.
I believe it. This is great.
Right. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's been an honor. I know it's probably late for both of us here, but yeah, I was super excited. All I want to do is get my mic and do the podcast, and I'm really enjoying it. And you and Doodle have been nothing but amazing people, and I love you both for that. Is there anything else like you want to throw out there, like your times, where people can find you, the Discord maybe, anything else you want to throw out there?
Yes, you guys can find me on Discord and on Instagram. It's the same handle, DinoxRobot. I stream on Twitch Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yay!
Yeah, so once again, guys, thank you so much for coming and listening to us on our podcast. Once again, I am Gaming with JonnyG. You can find me on Twitch Monday through Friday, although that might change now. If we're going to be doing the podcast on Wednesdays, it might be a little different. But you can find me. I am Central Time. It's 6 to 9 p.m. And, yeah, find me on there at twitch.tv/JonnyG1246. You can also find me on my Instagram at gamingwithJonnyG1246. I want to thank you, Dino. Thank you so much for being my very first guest here on the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Dino, we're definitely going to probably talk a little bit more as well. So yeah, thank you so much for coming and doing this. It's been a blast, and I'm super excited if you guys do come to Wisconsin. I think we're going to get you a little tipsy. We're going to bring out that party girl. That party mode's going to come out of you, I think.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Thank
definitely,
you.
Dino.